In the early hours of August 7th, 2011, 23-year-old Dalene Carlson vanished from a bar in Stockton, California. 2 months later, her body was discovered in a remote cornfield, with multiple wounds that appeared to be an execution-style unaliving. The person responsible was someone she considered a friend.
She didn't deserve to die the way she did, at all.
So why'd you come down here today?
To be honest, I want to watch this step by step. I want to see this man go down for what he did to that girl. I got a 5-year-old daughter at home, so I don't feel any sympathy for him or his family. Anybody who lied for him, anybody that helped him out. I don't feel sorry for you.
How did you know? Dalene had only been living in Stockton for 3 weeks. She'd packed up everything in Idaho, left behind the familiar comfort of her small hometown, and moved in with her Aunt Maggie and cousin Cecily to chase a dream.
Dalene was very excited to come to Stockton to go to school. She had potential to do whatever she wanted to do.
When I found out that Dalene wanted to come here and live with us, it made me feel really good. She feels comfortable with being with her auntie. Made me feel proud.
After years of working multiple restaurant jobs and saving every dollar she could, she'd finally enrolled at San Joaquin Delta College to study child development. She was vibrant, outgoing, loved the outdoors, and had her whole life stretching out before her. That Saturday night in August, she just wanted to meet friends, have a few drinks, and enjoy being young in a new city. But by sunrise, she was gone. Her phone went silent. Her family's calls went unanswered. And what began as a worried aunt staying up all night turned into a desperate search, then a criminal investigation, and finally, a heartbreaking discovery that would reveal just how quickly trust can turn deadly. Dalene Janice Carlson had always been the kind of person who lit up a room. Growing up in Idaho, she'd been active and adventurous, spending her free time snowboarding down mountains, fishing in quiet rivers, and hiking trails with her dog Maddie by her side. She graduated high school in 2006 and immediately threw herself into work, taking on shifts at various restaurants, determined to build something for herself. She wanted to make a difference in young lives. When the opportunity came to move to Stockton in July of 2011, Dalene jumped at it. Her Aunt Maggie and cousin Cecily welcomed her with open arms, excited to have her close. The plan was simple: settle in, get comfortable with the area, and start classes when the fall semester began. Cecily became her guide to the city, showing her the local spots, introducing her to people, helping her find her footing. The two cousins clicked instantly. They had similar interests, similar energy, and genuinely enjoyed each other's company. Dalene adapted quickly. She was confident, sociable, easy to talk to. Within weeks, she'd made new friends and found her favorite hangout spot, Finnegan's Bar and Grill. It was the kind of place where you could relax, grab a drink, catch up with people. She felt comfortable there. She'd been dating a guy named Jacob Evangelisti, though by early August, things between them had cooled. She'd started showing interest in someone else, James Cossins, a guy she'd met through mutual friends. Everything seemed normal. Everything seemed fine. On the evening of August 6th, Cecily was supposed to go out with Dalene to Finnegan's. They'd made plans earlier that day, but Cecily came down with a fever and decided to stay home. Dalene, not wanting to waste the night, told her Aunt Maggie she'd still go, promising to be home by 3 in the morning. Maggie agreed, but with a warning to be careful and keep her phone on. Dalene grabbed her things, snapped a quick photo of her outfit so Cecily could see it later, and walked out the door. She was wearing a black and white striped vest top and ripped blue jeans. Her dark brown hair fell loose around her shoulders. She looked happy, relaxed, ready for a good night. That was the last time her family saw her alive. By 3:30 in the morning, Maggie was wide awake, staring at her phone. No call, no text. She tried reaching Dalene again and again, but every call went straight to voicemail. At first, she told herself that maybe Dalene had stayed at a friend's place, maybe her phone had died, maybe she'd just lost track of time. But as the hours crawled by and the sun began to rise, that hope faded. Something was wrong, deeply, terrifyingly wrong. Maggie started calling Cecily's friends, anyone who might have seen Dalene the night before. No one knew anything. Finally, she picked up the phone and dialed 911. The police told her it was too soon to file a missing person report, but they logged the call anyway.
Also new tonight, the search is intensifying for a Stockton woman who mysteriously disappeared after a night out. 23-year-old Dalene Carlson was last seen on August 7th.
At the start of this case, 3 men talked to police and said they had contact with Carlson the night she disappeared.
We just want her home, safe.
Carlson's cousins held a flyer displaying her photos today. The family has been fraught with worry since Carlson disappeared last weekend. She was last seen at Finnegan's Pub and Grill very early last Sunday morning.
You know, I just want my family to, you know, have peace and get, you know, get my aunt, get her daughter home.
We hope, there's a hope that, you know, we would love to find her safe, but as time progresses, it looks more grim.
Dalene's family refused to wait. They printed flyers, combed the streets, asked questions at every bar and store they could think of. By Sunday evening, the disappearance had officially become a criminal investigation.
For now, investigators plan to be here all afternoon, and we're told that Carlson moved here from Idaho to start a new life. She had plans to attend Delta College and was living with family when she disappeared.
Detectives Brad Burrell and Larry Lane were assigned to the case. Their first stop was Finnegan's Bar and Grill. One of the bartenders remembered Dalene clearly. She'd been there that night, hanging out near the entrance around midnight, smoking, talking with friends. Nothing had seemed off, but Finnegan's had security cameras, both outside and inside near the bathrooms. The detectives collected the footage and brought it back to the station. When they reviewed the tapes, they saw her. Dalene, in her striped top and jeans, moving through the bar, laughing, chatting with a group of guys. At 12:48 in the morning, a man with a goatee and a backwards baseball cap approached her from behind and put his arm around her waist. Dalene immediately pulled away and headed straight for the restroom. The man walked off as if nothing had happened. That man was Jason Gilly, 25 years old, a friend of Dalene's cousin and someone she'd known for about a week. When detectives questioned Jason, he told them he'd been at the bar that night and had offered Dalene a ride home, but she declined, he said, and he left around 1 in the morning to take care of his sick son. His grandmother confirmed he'd been home by 1:30.
Gilly told KCRA3 earlier this week that Carlson was at his home in those early morning hours Sunday, but left on her own.
His story seemed airtight. The detectives turned their attention elsewhere. They also spoke with Jacob Evangelisti, Dalene's ex-boyfriend. Surveillance footage showed the two of them having what appeared to be a heated conversation outside the bar just before 2 in the morning. Jacob admitted they'd argued. Dalene had broken up with him that night, and he was upset, but he insisted he'd left the bar alone and had nothing to do with her disappearance. Neither Jacob nor Dalene appeared on camera again after that. For days, the investigation stalled. Then James Cossins, the guy Dalene had been getting close to, mentioned something important. He'd received a text from Dalene early Sunday morning saying she was heading to a party at a friend's house. That meant she'd likely left the bar, intending to keep the night going. Detectives pulled up a list of nearby 24-hour stores and checked the closest one, Food for Less. The security footage there changed everything. At 1:31 in the morning, Dalene walked through the store with a man. They were buying alcohol together, acting casual, like nothing was wrong. When they reached the checkout, the cameras got a clear shot of the man's face. It was Jason Gilly. Jason had lied. He hadn't left the bar alone. He hadn't gone straight home. He'd left with Dalene, stopped at a store, bought alcohol, and gone somewhere. When detectives brought him in for questioning a second time, they didn't immediately confront him with the footage. They gave him a chance to come clean. He stuck to his story. He'd left around 1:30 and gone home to care for his son. Then they showed him the video. Jason's face fell. He wiped his eyes, shifted in his seat, and finally admitted he'd been lying. Yes, he'd left with Dalene. Yes, they'd gone to the store. But after that, he said, he'd dropped her back off at Finnegan's and gone home. The detectives pressed harder. Jason changed his story again. This time, he said he'd brought Dalene back to his house. They'd had consensual relations on his back patio. Afterward, she'd gotten angry, demanded he drive her home. On the way, she'd called him names, tried to jump out of the moving car. He'd eventually pulled over somewhere near Modesto, about 40 miles south of Stockton, and she'd gotten out. He drove away. That was the last time he saw her, he claimed. Detectives didn't believe him. They asked him point blank where her body was. Jason broke down, crying, insisting he had nothing to do with it, but there wasn't enough evidence to hold him. He was released. Investigators kept digging. They reviewed footage from gas stations along the route Jason described. At 11 in the morning on August 7th, security cameras at a station on the south edge of Stockton captured Jason pulling in alone. He looked disheveled, dirty, with visible stains on his shirt and hands. He checked his passenger door, slammed it shut forcefully, then drove off. It was the behavior of someone covering something up. Meanwhile, Dalene's family held vigils, raised reward money, and refused to give up hope. But as weeks turned into months, the grim reality settled in. On October 17th, 2011, a farmer working a cornfield near Escalon, about 20 miles south of Stockton, made a devastating discovery.
From a missing persons case to a murder mystery.
We have this new at 5 tonight. We now know the body of a woman found this weekend in a San Joaquin County cornfield has been identified as Dalene Carlson. We continue to follow this incoming information in this case out of Stockton.
KCRA3's Rich Ibarra joins us now from the police department. So, Rich, what's next now in this murder investigation?
Well, the identification of Dalene Carlson was made through her dental records, and now investigators will have to see how she was killed and link that with any evidence that may lead to her killer. Finnegan's bar was among the last places that Dalene Carlson was seen August 7th, and people at the bar were hoping for a different outcome.
Couldn't believe that everything happened the way it did. I thought that she'd turn up somewhere. I'm glad the family can get some closure finally, but wish it was under different circumstances.
Dalene Carlson was found in a cornfield off Lone Tree Road in Escalon. The body found while a tractor was harvesting corn for farmer Frank Rocha. Rocha remembers that the surrounding area was searched earlier by police, but without success.
I seen them, I think it was like a few weeks back, they had a command center or something set up at the little corner store there. One officer yesterday told me that they had looked near my field there, right, in that area also, but nothing was picked up at that time.
He found Dalene's remains. She'd been shot 5 times. 3 bullets had struck her torso. 2 had hit her in the back. 1 shot had gone through the back of her head. Her body was naked except for a black bra found nearby. Her jeans were discovered 6 miles away days later. The position of her remains suggested she'd been forced to her knees, hands behind her head, before being executed. Shell casings found at the scene were .22 caliber. An informant later came forward and told police that Jason Gilly owned an unregistered .22 caliber handgun. When authorities retrieved the weapon and tested it, the casings matched. Cell phone tower data placed both Jason and Dalene in the area where her body was found on the morning she disappeared. Text messages sent from Dalene's phone after she was likely already dead suggested Jason had been using her phone to create a false trail. Jason was arrested and charged with kidnapping, sexual assault, and first-degree murder. The prosecution's theory was clear. Jason had lured Dalene back to his house under the pretense of giving her a ride home. Once there, he assaulted her. Realizing she would report him, he forced her into his car at gunpoint, drove her to a remote cornfield, made her strip, and shot her repeatedly. Then he drove to a gas station, tried to clean himself up, and went home. In October of 2013, Jason Gilly stood trial for the murder of Dalene Carlson. The evidence against him was overwhelming. Surveillance footage placed them together. His own admissions contradicted each other at every turn. Ballistics tied his gun to the crime scene. Cell tower records confirmed he was in the area where her body was found. Text messages from her phone, sent after she was dead, pointed directly to him. The jury found him guilty of first-degree murder and kidnapping. A mistrial was declared on the charge of sexual assault due to the advanced decomposition of Dalene's body, which made it impossible to prove definitively. On November 4, 2013, Jason Gilly was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus an additional 25 years for the firearm enhancement. He is currently incarcerated at Avenal State Prison in Kings County, California. He has never admitted to what truly happened that night. He has never expressed genuine remorse. For Dalene's family, the conviction brought a measure of justice, but it could never bring her back. Her Aunt Maggie later said that healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means remembering the good times, the laughter, the dreams Dalene had for her future.
She didn't deserve to die the way she did, at all.
So why'd you come down here today?
To be honest, I want to watch this step by step. I want to see this man go down for what he did to that girl. I got a 5-year-old daughter at home, so I don't feel any sympathy for him or his family. Anybody who lied for him, anybody that helped him out. I don't feel sorry for him.
How did you know Mr. Gilly?
I've known him for 20 years. He was my best friend. His story's changed so many times. I mean, I don't see how people can sit back and look like, if this guy's innocent, why is he continuing to lie?
Did you have any interaction with him after Dalene went missing?
Yes.
Describe that.
He had been staying in my house for a couple weeks, just to get away from it all. People coming by his house, bugging him. 20 years, I was trying to help him out.
How was his demeanor?
Cool, calm, and collected, really.
He wasn't worried?
That's what the eerie part is. Just cool, calm, and collected.
Wasn't worried?
Not at all. It didn't seem like it at all. Sat him down one night and I asked him, did you have anything to do with it? Do you know what happened to her? And he said, no, I don't know what happened to her.
Has the murder weapon been found?
We have no murder weapon. We're well within our right to charge personal use of a firearm. We have ballistic evidence. We don't have the actual, we have not confirmed that we have the actual weapon itself, but there's ballistic evidence. We have a series of facts, forensic and otherwise, that would allow us to deduce one fact, and that the fact is that she was raped. We'll be put to that test at the preliminary hearing and have a judge determine whether the circumstantial evidence shows that or not.
Do you think anyone else was involved?
No. In my heart of hearts, I think it was just him.
You said you describe yourself as his best friend for all these years.
Yeah.
Are you supporting him now?
No, I can't support something like that. Can't support it. Just seeing all the facts that are starting to come out, can't support something like that.
Dalene Carlson was 23 years old. She'd worked hard, saved money, moved to a new city, and enrolled in college to pursue a career helping children. She had friends who loved her, a family who supported her, and a life full of potential. One night out, one offer of a ride, one misplaced trust in someone she thought was a friend, and it all ended in a cornfield under the stars, alone and afraid. Her story is a painful reminder that danger doesn't always come from strangers in dark alleys. Sometimes it comes from people we know, people we trust, people who smile and offer help when we need it most. Dalene deserved so much more than the violence that took her life. She deserved the future she'd worked so hard to build. And while Jason Gilly will spend the rest of his life behind bars, no sentence can undo the loss her family endures every single day.